Hello again, everybody. It's JJ, also known as Bion King, here on YouTube. So yesterday I did say I'd upload 2 videos. Stuff came up. So anyway, I'm gonna make up for that and make another video today, and I'm just gonna jump right into the video. So anyway, our deck tech for today is Commander, one of my favorite formats. If you've seen a lot of my other videos, and our Commander today is General Tazri. So, General Tazri is a 3/4 for 5. She is a human ally. When she enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an ally creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Sorry about that, that was my finger. Anyway, so then, an ability of white, blue, black, red, green. Ally creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of colors among those creatures. So, even though she shows up as mono white, with those 5 colors showing up on there, that makes her commander, her color identity, be 5 colors. So, yes, this is a 5-color deck. It's my first attempt at a 5-color deck, and let's just say I really like this deck. It's really fun to play around with, and yeah. Anyways, let's go on to our land base. So, for our fetch lands, we have an Evolving Wilds and a Terramorphic Expanse. Either one of these you sack to search your library for a basic land card. Then we got Warped Landscape, so it's kind of the not fixed version of those, it's kind of the worst version of them. You can tap to add colorless or pay 2, tap, sack this, search your library for a basic land card. And then Blighted Woodland, so tap to add 1 colorless to your mana pool, pay 3 and a green, tap, sack Blighted Woodland, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. And then finally Flooded Strand, tap this, pay 1 life, search your library for a plains or island card. So there are 4 possibilities you can search up in this deck. You can either search for a plains, island, or there are 2 cards in here that have, one of them says Forest Plains, and the other one says Swamp Island. So you could search up for one of those and help with your color fixing. So anyway, now on to our multicolored lands, which help out. We have Frontier Bivouac, so green, blue, red, enters tapped. And then Mystic Monastery, blue, red, white, enters tapped. Now, it doesn't add all of them at once, it just adds either or. Then we got Jungle Hollow, so gain 1 life, black or green. So these are black or green lands. Hissing Quagmire, add black or green, tapped, and then this becomes a Madland, 2/2 black-green elemental with Death Touch. And then finally our other black-green land, Golgari Rot Farm, so return a land you control to its owner's hand, add black or green to its owner, to your mana pool. Now black-blue, Sunken Hollow, so this is one of the lands you can search up with the Flooded Strand, because it's an island swamp that's intercept unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Sorry, I'm not really explaining much. The videos only get to a certain point and then they stop, so I want to finish and not get so upset. So, anyways, then we got Demur Aqueduct, same as Golgari Rot Farm, except this one adds black and blue, sorry. Then Dismal Backwater, gain 1 life, add blue or red, or blue or black, sorry. Like I said, I'm not trying to explain, so I get messed up a bit. Then we got Bloodfell Caves, gain 1 life, black or red. Urborg Volcano, black or red. A lot of these lands enter tap, just to let you know, except for our basic lands and the fetch lands. So, there's that. Then we got Timber Gorge, red or green. Excuse me. Forsaken Sanctuary, black or white. Tranquil Cove, gain 1 life, add blue or white. Thornwood Falls, gain 1 life, green or blue. Swiftwater Cliffs, blue or red. And then our last multicolor, well, not last, but that only produces 2 colors or 3 colors, is Canopy Vista. So it's the other land you can search up with the Flooded Strand. So there's that, and now we're going to go on to the 5-colored lands. So we got Command Tower, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Then we got Vivid Crag and Vivid Meadows. The Vivids aren't really that great, but they enter with 2 charge counters on it. You can remove 1, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Then we got Ally Encampment. You can't really play this deck because this deck is Tribal Allies without playing this land. So add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Then spend this mana only to cast an ally spell. And then pay 1, tap, sack this, return target ally you control to its owner's hand. So there's that, and then we got Mirrodin's Core. So one colorless, put a charge counter on this, remove that, add 1 mana of any color. Holdout Settlement, tap this, untap creature, add 1 mana of any color. And then Unknown Shores, so pay 1, then tap this, add 1 mana of any color. So those are just kind of our our color fixers. And then on to our basic lands, we run 1 Swamp. So black is the color we run the least. And same with blue. We run 3 islands, or 2 islands, 3 mountains, 3 forests, and 3 plains. So those are the colors we use most, because that's where allies show up the most. So like I said, I'm trying to go quick, because the video goes only to a certain amount, because my phone can only hold a certain amount, and then it conks on me. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped making videos for a while. And when I make an update video, I'll explain that. Anyways, now on to our next card. Nissa Voices Zendikar, so +1, put a 0/1 green plant. Token onto the battlefield, -2, put a 1/1 counter onto each creature, -7, gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of lands you control. With an enchantment you control, her +1 ability becomes very, very good. Then we got Make a Stand. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn, are only instant. So how I ordered this was what shows up the most. So creatures, of course, are going to show up the most. So basically what this deck is an army deck, so you want to build an army. So anyway, now we got Stoneforge Masterwork. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature that shares a creature type with it. Captain's Clause gets +1/+0. And whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 white core ally onto the battlefield. And then our color fixers, Darksteel Ingot, Indestructible, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And then Sphere Suns, enters the battlefield tapped, and with 3 charge counters on it, remove 1, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I'd say better options are available. If you have the 1 land to where it makes all your lands add mana of any color, replace the Sphere Suns with that. But anyways, now on to our enchantment. We have Utopia Sprawl, so when this comes into play, choose a color, and enchant Forest. Whenever Enchanted Forest is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of the chosen mana to his or her mana pool. Sheltered Eyrie, enchant land, add 2 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool. So those were our color fixers. Now on to our utility enchantments. We have Bonds of Mortality, so draw a card with this when this enters. And then pay a green. Creatures your opponent control lose hexproof and indestructible. So good against decks like Avacyn, Angel of Hope, and stuff like that. So yeah. Then we got Mirror Mockery. So enchant creature. When it attacks, you may put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature, and then exile the token at end of combat. I usually enchant General Tazri with this. That way when she attacks, I put a token that's a copy of her. Of course, with Legend Rule, it'd go away. But I still get the enters the battlefield ability to where I can search for an ally. And remember, that's a may. There is a difference between may and have to. If it's may, you can choose if you want to. If it's have to, and say it's like, oh, I forgot this trigger, and it's like, and people look at it, it was like, was it a may ability or was it a have to ability? And it's like, it was a have to ability. And then everybody has to count what they did and all that and stuff. And then you put all that. Anyways, yeah. We got Flame Shadow Conjuring. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, it may pay red. If you do, put a token that's a copy of that creature and exile at end of combat. Really good with tokens. I mean, not tokens, but allies entering. So, yeah. Then we got Fires of Yavimaya. Creatures you control have haste. Sack this. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then finally, Xenograph. This was the enchantment I was talking about. So in this, enters battlefield, choose a creature type. Each creature you control is the chosen type in addition to its other types. So that's really fun and good. Now on to our sorceries. So traverse the Ulvenwald, search your library for a basic land card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Delirium. If there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, search your library for a creature or land card, reveal it, put it into your hand. So it's really good right there. Then we got Sylvan Scrying, search your library for a land card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Rampant Growth, search your library for a basic land, put it into play tapped, and shuffle. Cultivate, which is really good. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped, and then the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library. So remember, whenever you search your library, you are always supposed to shuffle. I have not seen a card to where it says search your library and do not shuffle. And give me one moment. Sorry about that, everybody. People were talking in the background. I didn't want to get that interfering with the video. So anyways, then we got March from the Tomb. So return any number of target ally creature cards with total converted mana cost 8 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that's really good with since you are playing allies a lot, since this is tribal allies, it helps. If I had to explain allies real quick before I get on to the next spell, it's like the poor man's slivers, because with slivers it's an always ability. With allies, they have to enter, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So anyway, now it's on to our next card, Bring to Light, Converge. So Converge is search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of colors. So since you are running 5 colors, so blue, green, the least this card will ever be is 2, but I always like to pay all 5 colors just to make this 5. Excuse me again. Anyway, and then you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So the problem with that, though, is you have to cast that card right away, or else it will be exiled forever. I'm not 100% certain, but I am about 95. I will ask my local judge, but yeah. Anyways, then we got Exert, Influence, Converge, gain control of target creature if its power is less than or equal to the number of colors. So 5, you can make it. And then finally, the last card, which really helps out in this deck, Rite of Replication. If you pay 9... So it's cost 4, and you can put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of target creature. But if you pay 9, you if it was kicked, put 5 instead. So with tokens, I mean not tokens, with allies, that really helps out a lot. so yeah. Now let's go on to a creature. So I organized this with color fixers, utility creatures, and yeah, you'll see here soon. So anyway, we got Pilgrim's Eye. So when this enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and that's a May ability. Then we got Rattleclaw Shaman, add blue, green, or red, and then you can pay 3 to morph this like this, and then pay 2 to morph it back up. And it gets, you add green, blue, and red to your mana pool. Then we have Lifespring Druid, so add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And then Alloy Mirror, same thing. Now on to our utility creatures. So Nephalia Smuggler, exile another target creature you control and return that card to the battlefield under your control. Really helps out, and you can do that at instant speed. And then we got Ether Snipe. So when this enters the battlefield, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then you can invoke for blue, blue, and regular, or anything. If you do it, sacrifice unless when it enters the battlefield. I can speak today, not too well, but I can speak. And with evoke, you can't do it at instant speed, which kind of sucks. But anyways, next utility, Desolation Giant. So he's a 3/3 for 4, but if you kick him for 2 white, he destroys all other creatures instead, and your creatures are alive. If not, he destroys all your creatures, unless you play a specific card in here. So he's kind of a one-sided board removal, so that's kind of good. Then we got Area Mystics. So flying, creatures you control gain Shroud until end of turn. Can't be the... Shroud means, it's like hexproof, but it's kind of older, so it means they can't be the target of spells or ability anybody controls, so that it even includes you. But anyways, then we got Yisan, the Wanderer Bard. So pay 3, tap him, put a first counter on him, and then search your library for a creature card with converted cost equal to the number of first counters on him, and then shuffle your library. If you know you do not have a creature of the converted mana cost left, I think what happens is his ability doesn't completely fizzle, but you will still have to shuffle your library afterwards. So, yeah. Then we got Shaman of the Great Hunt. So haste, whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then you may pay 2, green, blue, draw a card for each creature with power 4 or greater. So, in this deck, it is kind of army, and there are certain cards which help build up the army even bigger. So, he helps out really well. Then finally, Gisela, Blade of Goldenite. If source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, double anything to you, halved, rounded up. So I have her in here because she works really well. If I had Avacyn Angel of Hope, I would put her in here as well, but unfortunately I don't. So anyway, now on to our allies, which really don't do anything. They just kind of enter the battlefield and do stuff. So Changeling Titan, so 7/7, champion a creature. If you're wondering how is this an ally, Changeling, this card is every creature type at all times. So, and then Beast Scholar Savant, haste, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Drana's Emissary, beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1. Tajuru Stalwart, converge, enters battlefield with 1/1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So the most it could ever become is a 3/4, while this one, converge, flying, could become a 5/5. So, and then finally not finally, but veteran lore leaders, power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. Tap another untapped ally, he gains first strike, vigilance, or trample until end of turn. And finally, our last ally, which really doesn't do anything except for one card in here, and this is the reason why I have her in here. Zada Hedron Grider. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only her, copy that spell for each other creature you control. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. So if you can remember back to Rite of Replication, if you target Zada with Rite of Replication and you have it kicked, you will get 5 tokens on each creature, triggering a lot, and I really mean a lot of ally triggers, because there are some in here which are very powerful. So anyway, then we got Vastwood Animus. Target land you control becomes an XX Elemental, where X is the number of allies, still land. Academic Cultist, put target creature card from opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield, where its converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of allies you control. So these are the allies that you have to tap in order to do stuff. So, and then finally Munda's Vanguard Cohort, so tap him and an untapped ally, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. And finally, these are the allies to when they enter, they do stuff. So it's called Rally, but I'm just gonna say their name and say what they do. That way you know whenever another ally enters battlefield. So anyways, we got Jawari Shapeshifter, so enters battlefield as a copy of any ally creature on the battlefield. Lantern Scout, creatures control gain lifelink. Tuk Tuk Scrapper, you may destroy target artifact. If that artifact is put into a graveyard this way, it deals damage to that artifact's controller equal to the number of allies you control. Kabir Evangel, protect your allies gain protection from color of, allies you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn, and that's whenever Rally triggers, you choose the color and then your allies gain protection. So say you choose black, anybody who's playing black deck kind of gets screwed over. We got Haggard Diabolist, so target player loses life equal to the number of allies you control whenever him or another ally enters. So like I said, Rally. Hero of Gomafada, creatures gain indestructible. So with the newer cards compared to the older cards, the older allies only happen on allies. With the newer ones, it happens on every creature. So just know that difference. McKinley Patrol, creatures control gain vigilance. Core Entanglers, tap target creature and opponent controls. Core Blade Whirl, creatures you control gain first strike. Munda, Ambush Leader, so when you may look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal any number of allies you control, and then put them on top of your library in any order, and then put the rest on the bottom. So say you look at the top 4, and 3, maybe all 4 of them are ally cards, but you only want one of the allies. You can choose to reveal the one ally, and then put the other 3 on the bottom, because it says you may reveal any number of allies. Then Kalastria Healer, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1. Tajuru Warcaller, creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. And Tajuru Beastmaster, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Chasm Guide, creatures you control gain haste. Resolute Blade Master, creatures you control gain double strike. I will show the last one off because this is kind of what, not this guy that I'm showing, but the next one. Undo Champion, creatures you control gain trample. And then this is the last one I was trying to introduce. So, Kazul Warlord, whenever him or another ally enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each ally creature you control. So if you have Xenograph, basically what it amounts to is put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So what I can speak today, not too well, but hopefully well enough. And excuse me again for that. Anyways, So you may put a 1, and it's a May ability. What I love to do is I love to play him, and then I love to play Jirari Shapeshifter, copying him. So what that does is you're going to have 2 triggers on each one. So instead of putting 1/1 counter on each creature you control, put 2 1/1 counters. So, yeah, and like I said, if you have Rite of Replication, Zada, a bunch of stuff, it's going to be triggering nonstop. So, anyways, that was my commander deck. That was my first multicolored deck I've ever showed you guys on my video. Or first multicolored commander. Anyways, I hope you all enjoy and have a great day. Bye.